Good morning class. Welcome to today's session. Today we won't discuss about the general topics that we discuss always. Today we have something different to discuss actually. So let's talk about your career plans. How many of you are interested in giving competitive exams? How many of you are trying their hand at aptitude? Many, so many, right? So what are we going to discuss today, which is basically connected to verbal ability but is being used in most of the competitive exams and in your aptitude as well. We are talking about analogies. So what are analogies? Analogies are basically telling about the relationship of a pair of words. So what we are going to discuss today is on what are the different bases on which we can actually guess which is the right option being given to us, or 4 or 5 options, and which one should we choose on the basis of what. So this means analogies are like I give one pair of word like teacher student. So teacher and student, what is the relation between the teacher and the student is that the teacher teaches a student, or we can say a student is getting knowledge from a teacher. So now here we are talking about relation, we are talking about exchange of information. So similar case, if we have given other option and we have to choose a similar relation in the other option as well. So we can understand this concept more clearly and effectively by going through a particular presentation which is based completely on exercises. So what is analogy and how we have to decide on the correct option that we can choose in can be discussed here. So let's start our presentation. So we are talking about analogies. So analogy, what it does is, as I told you, it compares two pair of words that are related in some way or the other, and we have to find the relation. Accordingly, we have to solve the other pair which is being given in question. So like here we have an example. Shawl is to dig as pencil is to write. So what we do with shawl is that we use shawl to dig something out and we use pencil to write something on, right? So this is the analogy, because shovel and dig go together in the same way that pencil and write go. So how are we going to pronounce it? Whenever there's a colon, this means is to. We will pronounce it as is to, and when we have double colons, this means as. Or we can also pronounce the same as shawl goes with dig like pencil goes with write. But mostly we use shawl is to dig as pencil is to write. Okay, this is the first example which tells us about how analogies work. So what are the different types of analogies and on what basis can we search out or figure out which is the correct option in actually opting for in solving the analogies. So there are different platforms. One is synonym, then antonym, then object and action. What object is performing which action, based on that, source and product, part and whole, animal and habitat. So let me clarify here that these are not the only types. We have many more. So these are some of the basic types on the basis of which we can solve any analogy. So here we will talk first about synonyms. Find and discover. So we know the meaning of find and discover is same. They are synonymous to each other. Similar is beginning and start. So if I have a blank over here, that I have find is to discover as begin is to dash. So what should be the answer? It should be start. Why? Because we are seeing the relation between the two words that are specific before. That is, they are synonyms. Similarly, we have to find another synonym for begin. And out of the options that are being given, we can choose the best one over here. So here, one more example. Right is to correct. Again, both are synonyms. So under is to what? Come on, under is to below, isn't it? So below is the correct answer because below is a synonym for under. Here are a few examples now. Yes, back is to rear as flat is to dash. Come on, try it. Courageous is to brave, sly is to dash. These are all synonyms, and what we are going to discuss here is that we need to find the appropriate option in the blanks. So have you written the options? Please go for it. I can wait for one or 2 seconds more. Yeah. So let's see the answers now. Back is to rear as flat is to level. So what is level? What is flat? Generally level is flat. Courageous is to brave. Again synonym. Sly is to sneaky. Small is to little as quiet is to silent. Narrow is to thin as wealthy is to rich. Terrifying is to frightening as calm is to peaceful. So all these words which are being given here in the solution are synonyms to each other. So whatever option we are being given, we have to choose the correct one, which is the same as given in the question figure. Now next comes antonyms. So we have to see if the relation between the first two words that are being given is a synonym or an antonym, as we are going for the next clue. Yes. So serious, funny, they both are antonyms. Somebody is very serious and he doesn't like to laugh at everything, and somebody is very funny who is always laughing on every trivial thing. And then huge, if something is very big, so we are talking about something very tiny. So here they both are antonyms and same, therefore the relation is on basis of antonyms, opposites. So here now, can we solve this? New is to old as narrow is to, I think, wide. Yes, wide. So narrow is something which is not that broad and wide is something which is broad. So again, this can be one of the examples. Here comes a few more, very easy. Open, close, up. Yeah, good. Correct, mistaken, dangerous is to dash. Now we are using antonyms, remember here, because the first pair that is being given to us are antonyms. So accordingly we will be choosing the correct antonym for the rest of the 5. Okay, let's see the answers now. Yes, you're very correct. Everybody must have written up is to down. Then dangerous is to safe. Graceful is to clumsy. Gentle is to harsh. Fiction is to non-fiction. Toxic is to non-toxic. Credit is to debit. Positive is to negative. I think maximum of you have done these correctly. Yeah, they were very easy. Now we're talking about the object and action. If the first pair of words are having a relation of an object and the action being performed, we can term both. For example, scissor is an object by which we can do cutting. Right? We can cut something with the help of a scissor. So scissors is what? Is an object. And if we talk about action, what action is being performed? So the action of cutting is being performed by the scissors. Similar goes with eraser and erase. So what is eraser used for? What action does it perform? It performs the action of erasing something. Right? So therefore, they are in relation on the basis of the action they perform or the object that is being involved in the action. Similar here, eyes is to see. We can see through eyes. And what do we do with nose? Yes, correct. We smell with it. Smell is correct because the smell is the action being associated with the nose. Again, this is again very easy. I hope you all will be able to solve it. Ear is to hear as hand is to, rooster is to crow, clock is to tick, boat is to float, broom is to sweep. Accordingly, choose the right options. Done? Okay, let's go for the answers. So hand, what do we use hand for? Definitely to write. And what does lion do? Lion roars, the action that lion performs. Bell is to ring. Airplane is to fly. What does it do? It flies. Shawl is to dig, as we already discussed in a previous example as well. Next is on the basis of source or product. Like if we talk about the first pair, that is water. Water, we can get water from which source? From well, right? So water is a product of well, we can say. Similar, if we have to we have to search sand, we have to go to beach because beach is the source of sand. Now, this relation is actually based on source and product. So, in case you are getting a question wherein you can find that the relation is based on source and product, similar you have to find in the next pair which is being asked. Here, tree is to lumber as quarry is to what? Stones, right? because we get a product of of stone from quarry. Here is a small exercise for you again. We grow corn in the fields. We have diamonds from the mine. We get wool from sheep. We get coconuts from the palm tree and rice from paddy. So now choose this. What we get from here? What do we get from pond? Oyster shells, silkworm. What we get from silkworm? Maple tree and bog. Here it is. We all know that in the pond we can find fishes, right? In oyster shells there are pearls. We get silk from silkworm. We get syrup from maple trees. And we get cranberries from bog. Here today I think you will add a few new vocabulary words to your dictionary, right? Next is about part and whole, whether we are talking about the whole thing or a part of it. So toe and foot. Foot is whole and toe is a part of the foot. Similarly, hand is a complete part of body and finger is a part of it, right? So this means that whenever we are finding any kind of question which is related on the relationship of a whole and part, we have to figure out what is missing. So here, room is to house. We have house in which we have a room. Then we have something in which we have a chapter. What do we have? Correct, book. We have correct book, and in that book we can find different chapters. Again, something for you now to work on. Steering wheel is related to automobile, right? Tree has different branches. Corn, kernel. Chair has a leg. Sentence has a word. So now, bigger and smaller. Whole and part we are talking about. So now, have you done it? Okay. So because we are talking about automobile, so we cannot associate wing with something else, with bird. So we have to understand that whatever in context the first pair is given, if we have the option, we will go for that. So wing we will definitely associate with the airplane, not with the bird, if I have got both the options. So tree has branches, so train has boxcar. Corn, kernel, wheat is grain. We get wheat from grain. Chair has a leg. A cup has a handle. Word has a letter and sentence has different words, right? Next is animal and habitat. Sometimes the relations are based on where the habitat of a particular animal is. So we know that spiders live in their web and birds in nest. So we are talking about the animal or the insect or the bird and their habitat, where they live in. Can you tell me about this? Bat lives in cave, so where does bear live? Come on, where does bear live? It lives in the den. As lion lives in the den, right? Here are a few examples. So you can again add a good, collection of habitats of different animals in your vocabulary by solving this particular exercise. Right? Here it is. So ant lives in hill and bee in hive, cattle in barn, chicken in coop, pig in sty and horse in stable, giraffe in grasslands and polar bear in tundra, toucan in rainforests and bald eagle in temperate forests. So we are talking about what kind of forest they live in. So definitely if there are different options, you will search for the option which is telling us about the forest it is living in. So there are a few questions that we can review now. So I hope you know what is an analogy now, name and the different types of analogies that we have discussed, right? And one example each. So shall I expect that you all can give me one each example of all the different types that we discussed? Can we? Okay, let's have a recap. So if we talk about analogies, what is the first thing that we can see? We can figure out, yes, synonyms. They can be synonyms. They can be antonyms. They can be part and whole. They can be object, right? Object or the action that we are performing. They can be animal and habitat. Yes, something else. Yes, come on. Okay, you can just take your time, relax and do one example of each different type. Write it down yourself, try to make it for others, and ask questions to others how they will be able to solve it. So analogies is definitely a very good process by which you can just be active, find different words, and show your presence of mind, and always work. Like there are different many more analogies that we can work on. But yes, to start with, these are the 6 different types we can just practice on. So I hope that today's session you have been able to understand how we have to solve an analogy that has been given in any exam or any test, and what are the different patterns that we can follow. So I hope that today's session was fruitful to you, and you have actually learned something out of it. So my best wishes are with you. Have a good day. Thank you.